Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I am, of course, your host, Armando Venditti. Hoping you guys are having a good night. In this episode of the Music Den, I'm going to be doing another installment of Album Spotlight. This is going to be a good one. Now, the band I'm going to be talking about released this album, their fifth release, on August 2nd, 1971, through Track and Decca Records in UK and Europe, and through MCA Records in North America. This album was produced by the band and producer Glyn Johns. This album has a long history, and it's morphed from different ideas, and the end result was this album. The group is The Who, and the album is Who's Next? In light of the 10 CD, 1 audio Blu-ray, massive super deluxe box set of Who's Next and Lifehouse, I will be doing an album spotlight on Who's Next. Also discussing its origins, Lifehouse, and associated recordings around that time. So it's going to be fun. In 1970, The Who released a live album, Live at Leeds, a single disc album, which was recorded on Valentine's Day in the UK, released on Polydor, and it wasn't a complete recording. The live tracks that were recorded for Live at Leeds remained unreleased until a few years ago. And if I can make a recommendation, if you guys can get a copy of Live at Leeds, at least the double disc version, disc 2 has the entire performance of Tommy. It is a fantastic album. Amazing. But on with the show. After the release of Live at Leeds, the Who found themselves, and Pete Townsend in particular, found themselves at a bit of a crossroads. In the interim, between studio albums, they had recorded a bunch of songs that were going to be released on an EP. And those songs were The Seeker, Water, Naked Eye, Postcard, I Don't Even Know Myself, and Now I'm a Farmer. Out of all these songs, The Seeker was the only one that was released as a single. I believe it was to tie in with the Live at Leeds release. The tracks on this so-called EP that was going to be released had remained unreleased. They were put back in the vault. Reason why was that they felt that the recordings were not as good as what they did on Tommy. Okay, so at that point, Pete Townsend, I would imagine, was scrambling to come up with an idea for another album. Came up with an idea for another concept album. That title was Lifehouse. Now, the concept of Lifehouse was of a society where music is banned and the people basically lived indoors and they were controlled by their government. Now, the idea for this Lifehouse project was supposed to be what is considered now multimedia. Multimedia, I don't believe, was used as a term in the early 70s. Pete Townsend had grown tired of the album tour cycle. He wanted to break away from that. He wanted the band to expand the horizons musically, go down different avenues, wanted to go into feature films, what have you. He came up with the idea to do Lifehouse, and he also wanted the fans to participate in giving song ideas and song titles, lyric ideas for possibly new songs. He also started writing songs for this project, which was Lifehouse. Various recording sessions happened in New York City and in London at Olympia Studios and Olympic Studios, sorry, and in New York City, as I said, at the suggestion of Kit Lambert, their manager and mentor to Pete Townshend. Unfortunately, this again was another sore spot because Kit Lambert was not in the state mentally to participate in the production or mixing of any of the songs due to his increasing drug use, much to the disappointment of Pete Townshend, because he did view Kit Lambert as an inspiration and as a mentor. Glenn Johns, upon listening to the tracks that were recorded in New York, decided that it would be better to start fresh in London, and with a clean slate. So they did so. Concerts were planned for this project of Lifehouse. The idea was to have how do I put this? A collaboration between The Who and their audience to come up with song ideas again and lyrical ideas. Unfortunately, these concerts that were planned at the Young Vic Theatre, a handful of concerts were performed, but the response from the audience was less than enthusiastic. So the remaining concerts were abandoned, and Pete Townshend quickly became illusioned with the idea of the Lifehouse project. Now, various tracks from Lifehouse have come up on other projects of Pete Townshend's, and do believe of The Who. In 1999 or 2000, Pete Townshend had released a 6 CD set called Lifehouse Chronicles. And if you can find that, you can get that on eBay for around $103 US. So, and I will definitely plan on doing that myself. What he did do with some of these tracks, 9 in total, eight which were written by Pete Townshend, 1 which was written by John Entwistle. These tracks were taken, finished, and put together for an album that would eventually become Who's Next. This album, Who's Next, upon release, was a massive hit, critically and commercially. This album was seen as a turning point for the band. Upon release, it took off. Critically and commercially, it was a big hit. There were 3 singles released from the Who's Next album: Bubba O'Reilly, Behind Blue Eyes, and Won't Get Fooled Again. Bubba O'Reilly, as I found out, was not released as a single in the UK or US. It was only released as a single in Europe. And the B-side was My Wife, the track written by John Entwistle. The Who wanted the audience to listen to the album as one cohesive piece, okay? And I found it very interesting. The final release for the album, Won't Get Fooled Again, the album version is 8 minutes plus, massive track. It was edited down to 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Again, I don't know how you can take a massive piece of writing like Won't Get Fooled Again and edit it down to 3.5 minutes and let it still have the impact that the entire piece has. I don't understand it. The tracks on the album, first of all, every track is fantastic. Every track is amazing. Okay. The tracks do have a theme that run through them, a theme of themes of, I should say, of isolation alienation, um, desperation, feeling of abandonment, feeling of helplessness, feeling of loss of self-worth, doubt of self-worth. Amazing tracks all the way through. What I do like about this album is that I can listen to every song and not want to skip anything. They did use additional musicians on this album. Before I go to the track listing, I will go through who worked on this album as additional musicians. You had Dave Arbus on violin for Bubba O'Reilly, Nicky Hopkins piano on The Song Is Over and Getting in Tune, and Al Cooper Hammond organ on alternate version of Behind Blue Eyes, which, you know, appears on the Lifehouse box set. It's amazing. And also from Mountain, Leslie West plays lead guitar on the Record Plant sessions for the deluxe edition of for the track Baby Don't You Do It, and Love Ain't for Keeping, which is listed as the electric version. As I said, each track on this album has the theme or themes of alienation and desperation. What I do like about this album, as I was going to say, was that they do use synthesizers. They use an ARP synthesizer on this album, but it's not saturated in keyboards. First of all, at this point in time with keyboards, they were monophonic, not polyphonic. So you had to play each note separate. Whereas with polyphonic, you can play chords together and mix together different sounds. They had to record each part for the keyboards separately. And if you watch on YouTube, there are videos of Pete Townsend at this time recording pieces on keyboards for this album and other albums. It's a massive piece of equipment. The board that has all of the plugins for the inputs is huge. It towers over him. So I do like the fact that they were forward thinking, in the fact that they were going to use keyboards, but they didn't let the keyboards use them. Okay. They were very mindful of the fact that it should still be guitar, bass, and drums. Okay. For me, this is a fantastic album. First of all, you have songs like Bubba O'Reilly, which on the Lifehouse version for the demos, that's clocks into like 13 minutes. Another fantastic track, Bargain, where basically he is spilling his heart out for his wife, saying, without you, I'm nothing. I would lose myself to find you. Okay. Love Ain't for Keeping, another song about, longing for someone and wanting to be with someone so badly, The Song Is Over, which to me talks about someone who is basically spent spiritually, physically, emotionally, just basically drained of everything they have to offer. Getting in Tune is another fantastic track. Beautiful arrangements. Going Mobile, shortest track in the album, 2 minutes and change. Just a fantastic raucous track. Just, basically saying, you think you know me, but you don't. I'll be, you think I'll go left, but I'll go right. I will do anything opposite that you think I'm going to do. I'm going to be unpredictable, and you'll never pin me down. You'll never figure me out. You know what I mean? That's what I take from it. Behind Blue Eyes, fantastic track. Second single from the album. Again, a track about, feeling lonely, feeling isolated, feeling desperate, pleading for someone to notice them, to give them validation, you know. And a lot of people still feel that way these days. So a lot of the tracks on this album have a universal feel and appeal, and they're timeless. They don't fit within a certain time frame. Okay, they are more relevant today than ever before. And the last track, the Mammoth, again, Won't Get Fooled Again, 8 minutes plus. This track is said to have been inspired by the performance at Woodstock when one of the MCs at Woodstock was chased off the stage because they tried to speak during one of the breaks that the Who were having during the performance at Woodstock. So from track 1 to track 9, every song on this album is amazing. Okay. And when you get the box set of Who's Next and Lifehouse, you get the original album remastered. I do believe it's by Steven Wilson. So if that's the case, we're in luck. I'm telling you. You get the original album on the remastered on the first disc. You get discs of demos, outtakes, singles. You get a studio recording of the track Heaven and Hell, written by John Entwistle, that was featured on Live at Leeds. You also get the tracks from that aborted EP, Water, Postcard, and all those tracks. Those are on this box set. You also get 2 concerts in full on CD, one in California and one in San Francisco, and the other one in the UK. So there is an abundance of audio material on this. You'll also get reproduction of programs from the Rainbow Theater. You'll also get a huge, massive hardcover of a book, of a graphic novel of the story of Lifehouse. Okay, this sucker is huge. All right. Now, when Pontus and I do our review or our discussion of the box set, we will be showing photographs of said box set. I will not be able to physically hold up the package because it's too heavy for me to do. Okay, but it will be entertaining nonetheless. So if you can get your hands on the Lifehouse Who's Next box set, please do. I paid for my copy, I paid $409 through Amazon. Through their website, the Who's website, it was going for over $500 Canadian at the time when I first heard about it. I wasn't going to pay that much. It was too expensive. So if you can get it on Amazon, please do. It will take some time to get to you, but when it does arrive, it'll be well worth it. So please check out this album. If you haven't heard it, I'd be surprised if you haven't. Let me know what you think of Who's Next. If you have the box set, please let me know what you think of this massive box set. Put your comments down there, down below. Please let me know what you think. Do you like The Who? Do you like Who's Next? Do you like Lifehouse? Do you like this collection? Do you think that, it's overpriced? Let me know all of your comments, all of your opinions. There are no right or wrong answers. All right. And that's it for now. I will be doing I'm doing quite a few videos over the next few days. I will be doing a video with Ryan Gavalier on Misguided or Misunderstood. We will be covering the 1987 release from Aerosmith, Permanent Vacation. Was it a misguided attempt by the band, or was it misunderstood by the audience? I will be doing another video with Bill Schuster, New Music Discovery, George Jackson Part 4. We will be talking about Night and Day 2 and the George Jackson Band Volume 4. And I will be doing a video with Grant Arthur from Grant's Rock Warehouse on the Tea Party and their fourth release from 1999, Triptych, on EMI Canada. That will be recorded the 22nd, on Friday, actually. So Friday is going to be a busy day for me. And the Cars ranking the albums video with Mr. Peter Kent from the Lizard King channel has been moved to October the 7th. I need a bit of time off over the weekend. So please check out Grant's Rock Warehouse. Fantastic content there. Also check out the Lizard King channel. Also has fantastic content. And I will see you soon with another video. Please take care of yourselves and one another. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.